My girlfriend, who went on a girls' trip with 2 men while I babysit her baby, is now extremely mad because I posted their video on her social media. 4 years ago, I, 27M, got into a relationship with my girlfriend, 23F. From the onset, it seemed pretty much like a bad move, but I was being objective and loving her for who I thought she was. At the time, she was 19 years old and she had a baby boy, but she didn't know who the father was. Although it was weird and in hindsight was 1,000 red flags, it did not matter much to me, and I didn't have a problem dating her even though she was a single mom. Although we live apart, I offered her my support in every way I could, paying bills, restocking her groceries, and sometimes babysitting her toddler. A couple of months back, she called to ask if she could stop by my place because she wanted to discuss something important with me. I tried to figure out what it was but couldn't, and when I asked her for a hint, she said it was best discussed in person, so I anticipated her arrival. She stopped by my place that evening as she had mentioned, and while I anticipated a somewhat serious conversation, she rather explained that she had a lot to deal with as regards to her mental health. She said her friends were planning a girls' trip and they wanted to take her along. Since it's a girls' trip, it would be embarrassing to take her son, so she was requesting that I help babysit the child. That wasn't very much of a big deal to me, and I volunteered to do it. I asked when she was leaving, and she said it was the very next day. I was surprised. How could these plans have been going on, and I just got informed a few hours before the takeoff? She dropped her child off at my place and headed home to get ready for her early next morning takeoff. She promised to make sure we were in touch constantly for the whole week she would spend there. True to her words, we got on the phone a few times that day, and the next day she placed a video call via Skype sometime in the earlier part of the evening. Being that she went in company of her friends who also loved her kid, I expected they'd at most be around the screen, waving and sending regards. But none of that happened. I thought that was somewhat out of place, so I asked where they were. She said she was alone and the rest were out at the pool. She just wanted to see us before joining them. While that explanation made sense, something was wrong. My senses were on high alert for whatever reason. She seemed to be distracted by something else in the room. She kept looking to her right as if someone was there. I was increasingly getting convinced there was someone else there with her, and that someone could not be one of her friends. The next time she looked into the screen, she hurriedly said she needed to go. She hinted that she and the girls were going out to a hip club that night, and she needed to go and get ready. This piece of information triggered the alarms in me. So I said my goodbyes, and instead of ending the session, I just turned my camera off so she'd think I logged out. Then I watched. Quickly getting up, she'd beckoned to someone in the direction she had been looking at, and a guy materialized. I froze at the realization of what was going on. She starts full-on making out with him right in front of the screen, and then another guy joins the party. I watched the three of them in horror. After 4 years of putting up with her in every way I could and supporting her together with her child, whose father she didn't even know, here she was cheating on me with 2 guys. Now I understood why I never knew who the baby daddy of her child was. She was a group player. Suddenly I could see why everyone who knew her thought it was always a bad idea for me to get into a relationship with her. I felt so miserable. Without a second thought, I began to record the screen. I felt like I was frozen in time. I couldn't peel my eyes away. It was the most disgusting, vile act I've ever seen anyone commit. I turned it off when they started ripping their clothes off, getting ready for serious action. I couldn't watch that. My head was so messed up from what I've seen that I wasn't thinking clearly. So I logged onto her FB and posted a short clip of the video on her timeline and as her story. I captioned the post, "How I had one child that I don't know who the father is. Next one incoming." Then I changed her password and logged in again. So many people were leaving shocked emojis and comments under the post, and her inbox started flooding with people asking if her account has been hacked and what the frick she was doing and asking where my name was. I replied to the first few that my name was home sitting the child while she was having some fun. The shocked replies were fun to read. And soon as expected, my girlfriend called. I could hear the hysteria in her voice as she screamed at me and asked me to take the post down as it was ruining her reputation. I was surprised she mentioned that because to me she didn't have one, and I didn't hesitate to let her know. She broke into tears begging me to give her the new password, but I wouldn't do that. I sternly told her that I was giving her 2 hours to get back from wherever she wove to us and get her child. Otherwise, I would call CPS and hand her child in the video to them, which in hindsight would have been a bad idea had I actually followed through. She was terrified and began pleading more. All her pleas fell on deaf ears as I was determined to carry out my promise to the letter. In an hour, her elder sister came to collect the child and screamed at me for not resolving this like grown adults and resorting to such gimmicks instead. She threatened to sue me to oblivion and left with the child hurriedly. Few hours later, my ex-GF materialized on my patio. She was crying and apologizing and banging on my door to see me. I wrote the password on a piece of paper and pushed it outside under the door. She started crying harder when she saw that. Only after some hours of crying and apologizing she left. That was the last time we interacted. I packed her and her kid stuff in my place and placed it at the front for the garbage truck to pick it up. It's been about 7 months since we broke up, and recently I've been informed that she's pregnant. Following the incident that led to our breakup, I can guess that she doesn't know who the father of the baby is this time around either. It's relieving to be out of such a garbage relationship, and I'm definitely taking my time to enjoy some alone time before committing to another relationship. Alright, next cheating story. It has been 24 hours since my wife of 5 years told me that she wanted a divorce and that she had been unfaithful for the first time the night before while out drinking. I'd had a strange, queasy feeling for days that something was wrong, and here it is. I know that I have the most straightforward out. She cheated, not me, and she requested the divorce, not me, but this is the love of my life. This is all very raw. I don't know how this is going to go. There's a big part of me that wants to say screw it. No kids, but there is a house we have jointly. I refused to move out yesterday, telling her that I haven't done anything wrong, and she acknowledged that's my prerogative. I think we agree on what the fault line in our marriage is, but we do not have the same cure clearly. I told her I want to work on this and see if it can be salvaged. She hasn't told me if she agrees. But now I'm creating a burner account on Reddit to rant about this. I'm sad, angry, humiliated, and confused. I still love her. I can't help loving her. But I don't know what more she wants from me other than what I've given. Thanks for reading. I know what advice I'll probably get, and I'm about 30% there already. But her and I have always solved our problems before, and I don't want to believe that a rut of a few months is worth burning down everything we've built together. Update? Well, today is my sock day. The divorce is final. This all began on 818, as some of you know, and now it's done. Going over there to exchange a few items tonight, and then I'll probably never have to see her again. I don't really miss her anymore. I'm still sad that she wasn't the wife I know she could have been had she confronted some of her issues and resentments. I'll always love the woman I married, but I'm not torn up about losing the woman I divorced. I'm confident I was the best husband I could have been, even with my own set of flaws. I'm very easygoing, not super assertive. Don't always apply myself as much as I'm capable of. A bit codependent, too easily contented. We had a dead bedroom she wouldn't discuss. She bossed me around, complained about everything, and had spells of deep morosity. She resents most people and was burned out by her job. It's a shame, but I hope she finds help and structure in her therapy to be the person she could be, and I'm sure wishes she was. I leave this 5-year marriage at peace that I did the right thing, and I did what I could to save it. Even asking for reconciliation and counseling 5 times after the ONSS and request to split were revealed in August. This was her choice. All of it. And I'm positive she'll one day regret it. As for me, getting my settlement soon, and I'll be totally debt-free. Unlike her. Studying for my CFP, I'm going to start investing more with my money as well as with my writing. I've been casually dating a sweet nurse who seems to really like me in his 6 years my junior, and I've joined a trivia team in my buddy's whiskey club. Things aren't perfect, but they're better today than I thought they'd be when I first posted here the day after D-Day. A complete mess and deeply in denial about what had happened and what was coming. Let's see some top comments. Congratulations. Good on you. Keep going. Keep moving forward. Never back. Seek joy and happiness. I had to look up sock day. Ha ha ha. Sounds like your life has taken a turn for the Opie. You've got your wife's number now. You know her better now than you ever did. Probably better than she knows herself. She's got a sharp shot coming to her. Memories of that ONS are not going to be happy ones. Feel like PTSD. Fucking great. All the best for the future. Don't go keeping that young nurse up at night. Good luck. Good on you. Dude, you're a success story. And although it may not feel like it at times, you are an inspiration that others too can come out of being cheated on with their head held high. Congrats to you.